Happy Canada Day, everyone. I thought I'd come out to the greenhouse and show you how things are growing. I'm a couple minutes late getting started. I was hoping to get started at 12, but I will wait a few minutes and see if anyone joins, and if you don't, I'll start anyway, and then I'll save this video to my Facebook page and you can watch it later. So, I'm just outside and it's a gorgeous day. So hot today, 40 something Celsius, dry heat out here where I am. It's just beautiful. I was out this morning and I tried to get some water to some of the vegetables in the garden, the salads especially. They're just struggling in this heat and you can't pick them. They just look wilty and they have no water in them. So I try to go out early in the morning and get them some water. So anyway, here I am in front of the greenhouse, and I'll just put my water down 1 second, and I'll flip the camera so I could show you how it looks from out here. Okay, flipping the camera. Okay, here's the front of the greenhouse, and it's fully planted inside. Outside, I love adding flowers to the garden, and the same thing for the greenhouse. So I have these gorgeous pelargoniums, and they're also known as geraniums. I have a couple of pots here. They're just so beautiful and vivid, like a fuchsia paint, just stunning. If you can't hear me, let me know in your comments, and I'll try to bring this closer to my face. So that's the front. I have this patio here, and I have this lovely bistro chair that I also put plants on. And then I have this gorgeous tassel flower that I noticed last year at a Pioneer Village, and it looks like this. It's called tassel flower. It looks like a little paintbrush. And when I saw it at this Pioneer Village last summer, it was a red color, and this one here is orange. And it's just lovely, but it's bolted in this small pot. I planted a whole bunch of them early in the season, and I have a ton of aphids in my greenhouse because there's a ton of ants here, so they were really attacking them, and I was trying really hard to... Oh, here's one. Oh, no, not here. So all these leaves had aphids on them. But anyway, this one's finally blooming, and I'm gonna have to get it planted, but look how cute it is. So that's the front. This is leftover herbs that I still need to get planted. I still have a bunch of stuff to plant in my garden, and with this really high heat, it's been difficult to get too much work done out there. So I do have some beds left to plant, but this place is fully planted. So here we are, the greenhouse door, and here's that screen that's right here. It's been great, but I'm leaving it open right now to try to get some breeze in this greenhouse because of how hot it is. And here you can see on the floor, I still have a few things that need to get out. Some leftovers, things I might not plant, nasturtiums that are in there, some onions, some herbs, some zinnias and things like that, but nothing major. Most of the stuff's planted. So on this side here, I've planted early in the season, I think it was the end of March, I just sprinkled some poppy seeds, and here they are, and they're growing. This is the first time in my experience that I've been successful at growing poppies from seed. I've planted them in containers before and nothing happened, and I tried to plant them in the garden last year and one of the perennial beds and nothing happened. So I thought, okay, I'll give it another shot. These are Iceland poppies, and I actually, they're growing. So I'll show you on the other side here, I have another patch, and they're actually just starting to bloom. It's incredible. So these are onions that I had, multiplier onions right here, and they're producing really, really well. These are onions that have bolted. These were last year's, and they're still here, but then I also have these bunches of green onions. So what you do is you buy these multiplier onion bulbs, you plant them, and then they split for you, and then you can pull a bunch of green onions. So I think they're just so much fun. So every year I add them, even though I grow regular onions, I have to have those. Here I have 3 tomato plants, and everything in my garden, in my greenhouse, is staked vertically, so I can plant it closer together. This is a cherry Roma variety, and normally I have about 50 to 70 tomato plants in the garden, but with all my blight last year, I decided to take a break and only do a few. So there's only 3 here. So I have this one, and this one, which is a gardener's delight, and another one, and they're all loving this heat. And as you can see, they have flowers. They all have flowers. I don't know if you can see that. and that one there. So in this side here, behind my door, here's the poppies. These are so pretty. Iceland poppies, but it's very hot in here and I think they're bolting quickly, so I'm gonna have to take that one off. That's gonna be a little seed pod. But this one just opened today, and it's just, if you look, it's full of flower buds, just full, and it's so pretty when I look at it this way, to have a little border of flowers there. And this here is a tree. It's a miniature pomegranate, and it actually is edible. So these flowers, they produce a flower. So this is a flower, and then the outside is the pomegranate skin, as you would see. And then the flower now has pollinated, so this is closing, and then it will produce a mini pomegranate. So I'm not sure what it's going to look like, but they're just so vivid. They're like a corally orange red, and they are edible. So I will keep this cute little pomegranate tree in my house over winter and bring it back out here to the greenhouse for the summer. But it's really, really happy in this hot space. So that's the poppies. They're so cute. This is the last patch of cucumber that I planted here, and they're all staked vertically. And then I always plant, co-plant flowers with my anything that I grow. I like it. I think it looks nice. It also attracts pollinators. So this is in this little patch here I have begonias, and always be sure that you remove your spent begonias and you'll get more begonias. This one is, and I always remove the female flowers. These are the male flowers, and if you remove the female flowers then you get more begonias. So back here is a female. It has the little green kind of cup. It sits right beneath the flowers. So if you remove that, which is really easy, this is the male flower, you'll get more flowers. And if you don't remove that, then your flower thinks it's made enough flowers to go to seed, and it stops making them. So if you want to have more flowers on your tuberous begonia plants, be sure you remove the female. So here's another one, just below the male flower. You just take it off, and they always have this little cup type thing beneath them. So, and then, so I always check them, and I could see back there's more right here. There's another, so I'll come back and take that. So this is peas that I have growing. These are blossom tendril peas, magnolia blossom, and they have these really pretty flowers. And you can eat the tendrils. They're edible and sweet, and you can add them to salads. And then they also produce lots of peas. So that one's full, and I have it staked vertically. On this side here I have cucumbers planted really thickly, and they love it in here. It's really, really hot, so it's the perfect conditions for cucumber. It's dry, nothing's watering them from above, there's no rain. So it's just the perfect environment for them. They're all staked vertically. Let's see if I can find you some cucumbers in here. I noticed some growing. Oh, here's one. I wonder if you can see that. It's very bright. So right there. So I'm excited to see how this grows. I always have a tough time growing cucumbers. There's another one. I always have a tough time growing cucumbers in the garden because of the inconsistent weather. But in here, they're just loving it. There's another one on this side also, and they're growing vertically. Lots of cucumbers. That's the view looking out. And then over here, I have more. So this is, peppers. Last year, because we had crazy rains, we had no peppers. And I decided that this year, if I'm going to have any peppers, I'm going to do them in the greenhouse because at least it'll be hot. And peppers need really dry, hot type of weather. And here where I live, in Zone 5A in Ontario, it is inconsistent. Now this summer is unexpected, and it's very, very hot. Like we're in the 40s here in Celsius, which is over 100 in Fahrenheit, maybe 101, which is unusual. So it would have probably been fine had I grown them in the garden, but I didn't want to take any chances. So I planted this one, and you can see it's full of serrano peppers. This is a serrano hot pepper plant, full of peppers, and they started producing a few weeks ago. And then over here I have an eggplant, which is full of flowers. This is a monkey face pepper, and they're kind of funny looking. I don't know if you could see it. That's a monkey face. So there is a big monkey face on that side. Oops. There we go. Sorry about that. There's a big monkey face in there. A really big one. But I saw a really big scary black spider in here the other day, and I don't want to get my hand in there unless I'm wearing a glove. So there's more eggplant and another one, and then this is bordered with purple romaine lettuce, and I will harvest it and make room for these plants here. There's another eggplant hiding back there. And I really try to squeeze in as much as I can because I want to really utilize the space the best. In this bed here, you can see I have flowers and more flowers and everything I can. I love the flowers because they just look beautiful, but I also want to have flowers to attract pollinators. So really it's like there's just two benefits for me, and as well I have rosemary tucked in back there, and it's growing fine. This rosemary here is a hardier rosemary that I found at an herb supply. Richter's Herbs is called ARP rosemary, and apparently it's hardy to zone 6. So in the winter I'll keep it in here and I'll cover it with my cold frame and hope that I can overwinter it here in the greenhouse. But at least I'll be able to keep it for much longer being in here without the frost damage until probably late November. Because last November it was like that. I was able to protect everything easily until November. So that's the greenhouse. There's my workbench. I'll turn the camera now if I could see what I'm doing. Hello. Okay. So anyway, it's lovely in here. It feels like a hot sauna. It's so dry. The beds are cedars, so they smell like cedar in here. Super hot. But there's a nice breeze coming in. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Canada Day today for my Canadian friends. And I'm just glad to be able to share this with you because it's been a while since I did a video in this greenhouse, and I wanted you all to see how it's progressing and how it's growing. So thanks so much for joining me. I'll flip the camera one more time to give you a look out. And this is the view that I have if I sit here. Planted as thickly as I can, and as soon as it cools off a bit, I'll do some seeds in here as well, put them up on the shelves. I'll probably do some later this summer. I'll do some cooler season ones to get more seeds started, and I'll just do them in here. So that's it. Wishing you guys all a happy Sunday, happy Canada Day, and I look forward to speaking to you all again soon. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.